Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am so excited that I get to be part of a Pinkfresh Studio blog hop that's happening right now. The blog hop, there's lots of inspiration, there's tons of brand new products, and I'm going to be using products from Pinkfresh Studio. I'm excited about this because I've been wanting to try some Pinkfresh Studio products for a while, and I have to tell you, they're pretty awesome. Well, first I'm going to be making two projects. Okay, but I encourage you to visit the blog hop because there is amazing inspiration, and there's a giveaway also, so please join us for that. But let me show you what's different about Pinkfresh Studio. This is the Brighter Days set. There's everything sold individual: stamp set, stencil, hot foil plate, and a die. But what makes it pretty incredible is, let me show you the stamp set. We're not going to be using the stamp set, but I wanted to show you. There's only there's only two pieces in here. You can see, of course, there's 6 flowers or 4 flowers. Well, actually, this could be considered a succulent, but there are 6 images. But it's one stamp. It's one solid stamp. You see that? And I love that because, and why that's so special is the coordinating die. Let me take this out. Basically, after you stamp your color in your images, all you do is line it up, one die. You don't separate this die, and it cuts everything out at once. So normally, if I have 3 flowers and a couple of leaves, I'm always twisting and turning, trying to find the position for this, but this makes it so easy. So you just line it up and cut it out. So I love that. This is the hot foil plate, and it's the same goes for that. Of course, it's going to be opposite, but basically you'll take the die after you foil, and then you can cut it out exactly like that. Everything is one piece, but you die cut it out at once, which is pretty amazing. The amazing thing too is the stencils basically do the same thing. Let me open them up and show you. This is the Brighter Days stencil set, and there's 5 stencils in here, and they're labeled, and there's little notches where you line up your A2 panels. Let me show you. Well, this card panel is not exactly A2. Let me find one that's A2. Okay, so on your stencils, there are notch marks. Okay, this is where you would line up your A2 panel, and that way you know exactly where to stencil. And the nice thing is there's layers. So this will be your layer 1. This is your flower center, layer 2. Detail layer is layer 3. Layer 4 is for your leaves. You color in your leaves, and they even included sentiments. Hello, friend. And then you also have thank you. And then you have the detail layer of the leaves. So that's what makes these stencils pretty amazing. And I love that. We're going to be using the hot foil plate for our project today. We're not going to be using the stamp set, but we are going to use the die for our first project. So we're going to set these aside. And I also want to share with you the products we're going to be using for our second card. We're also going to be using this set. This here is called the Beautiful Blooms stamp set. It's a large 6x8 stamp set, but the same concept goes, only you're getting double, like two in one, I would say. There's pretty sentiments in here, but these 3 sets of flowers are one stamp, but they'll die cut out 3 individual. I just love that. And you can see the die set. Let me show you. Let me take out our bottom one. Okay. So this is one die. You don't separate it or anything. Once you stamp your image, it's so easy to line up, but it will cut out all 3 of the different flowers. Is that not neat or what? I just think that's genius. Then, another thing too is when you store your dies, you don't really need a magnet because it's just one. I think that's so nice. Okay, there is a stencil set that goes with the Beautiful Blooms, and this stencil set is 4 pieces. And you can see it goes for the top set of flowers or the bottom set. And they're indexed too with stencil number 1, stencil number 2, number 3, and number 4. So you get the leaf layers. And then you also have the floral layers, which are two different sets. So, and again, these have little notch marks to where you would put your A2 panels. So let me show you. You have notch marks here. And then you have notch marks here. Pretty fabulous, huh? So, I'm excited to get to share this with you, and I'm excited to be part of the blog hop. So I have my glimmer machine over here heating off to the side. That's what we're going to use, my hot foil machine. I'm going to bring it in, and then we're going to add our hot foil plate, our Brighter Days, and let's do some foiling. When you foil, you want to put your plate face up, and I'm going to use a pretty gold foil. Okay, the foil that I'm going to be using is a matte gold, and I'm just going to open this up. And the nice thing too is you just need one basic piece. And I'm actually going to trim this down. Once my platform is ready, you can see the green light, I'm going to go ahead and add my foil. You put the foil face down, and then I'm going to add my A2 panel. And then I'm going to build my glimmer sandwich. I have my shimmer plate, my thin shim, a couple pieces of cardstock, and then my clear plate. We'll add that and set the timer. Okay, once my timer stops flashing, I'm going to scoot this over, and I'm going to add my glimmer plate to my die cutting machine. Sorry about the shaky camera. Put this back, and then I get to share with you the beautiful results. Ooh, isn't that so pretty? Gosh, I just love that. That is just stunning. Okay, even looks pretty on the foil. That's all the foiling we're gonna do. So I'm going to turn off my machine. And now we're going to set this aside also. We're going to take our stencils, and then we're going to take our first one, and easy to line up, guys. Okay? And I'm going to be using my blending brushes and some oxide inks to color in my images. First flower. Let's use Squeezed Lemonade. Add a little color. I don't want too much color. And then I'm going to use my fossilized amber and add a little shading. Beautiful. Sponge sugar. And I'm going to go lightly over this flower. And then I'm going to use my Kitsch Flamingo and add a little bit of darker shading. Do I want to go over the cacti or this flower? Let's do both. Because I'm not, I know I only want 3 flowers, but let's see what this does. Okay. And then I'll do a little shading with my peacock feathers. Let's go shading over here. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're going to take our stencil number 2 and we'll line this up. I'm going to add some pumice stone. Kind of a neutral color. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and add our third layer. And I didn't realize it, but this is the detail layer. So I'm going to take those inks back and bring in a slightly darker color. So we have peacock feathers. Let's go over it darker. Get flamingo here. And then we'll go over fossilized amber. Lovely. And oh, how pretty. I am loving this. Are you guys checking that out? How pretty that is? Just stunning. Now we get to do the leaves. Okay. Leaves, easy to line up. I'm going to use those same pieces of tape. And kind of got it crinkled a little bit, but that's okay. Lightest layer, shabby shutters. Gosh, that's so pretty. And then we're going to go in with the darker green, which is peeled paint. Actually, we don't need to do that. Shabby shutter. Oh gosh, how pretty. And then we're going to go over the detail layer. I'm not even going to tape this down because it's just basic here. Darker layer with our peeled paint. And that's it. How pretty is that? Okay, now of course I'm going to have to clean out these stencils, but I just think that is gorgeous. Next we're going to take the die set, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to line it up. Oh my goodness. This is so fabulous. And I'm going to bring the machine to you so you could actually see the magic happen here. I'm going to go ahead and add our plates. And then we'll just run this through. Should just pop out. Oh, I just think that's the neatest thing. Let's work on another project. We're going to color in everything at once, and then we'll build our cards. The next stamp set is Beautiful Blooms. Now with this one, we're going to use the stencil to color it in, but I'm definitely going to bring in my mini Misty. And which one are we going to use? I really like this bottom one. So that's the image we're going to use. One piece again. And I'm going to go over my image with my Versamark ink. I think I only had to stamp once because this is a pretty new ink pad. Our image with some gold embossing powder. Let's scoot this over. Oops. And there is our gold embossed florals. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to use the same inks that we used for our first florals. So let's take stencil number 1, and again, let's see how it's easy to line up. And oh my gosh, so easy. If you want to put pixie spray behind here, you could, but I think taping it's better because it is so large. And you have lots of layers too. So let's tape this down. Okay, first layer is done. Ooh, oh, that's so pretty. Second layer. Let's line it up. And ready for the reveal? Oh, I think that's just so pretty, guys. Look at that. It does the work for you. Okay, now we have the leaves. Let's line these up. We have the flower centers. I didn't want to go over the flower centers with that color. I wanted to use pumice stone. So let's kind of block that one off. Okay. Then we're going to take our next stencil, line it up, and there we go. Oh, how stunning are these? So easy, guys. Okay, let's die cut these out. Oh gosh, look how detailed and pretty these are. Oh goodness, goodness. And it even cuts the inside pieces out, guys. Oh, gorgeous. And then this one, a lot of detail in here. Just punch out those little extra detail pieces. So those are flower number 2s. Oh, how pretty. Let's make a quick and easy card. Well, not really quick and easy. Okay, we're going to set these aside. Okay, I have 3 die sets from Pinkfresh Studio. This one here is called Lots of Love. This is a... Now you'll notice on this one, there's no adhesive. There's no adhesive holding it. And you don't have to separate anything. It's separated for you. But I kept thinking, wow, this packaging is heavy. It's because they include a magnet, guys. You see the magnet in here? So it makes it so easy to store. I think that's pretty amazing. For the Lots of Love, I'm going to die cut out the outline with white cardstock, okay? And then these are individual letters. I'm going to die cut this out with gold, and then I'm also going to die cut it out with foam, and then I'll layer them all together, okay? And then I have 2 of this is the stitched scalloped rectangles. There is inverted and then outside scallop frames, which I love. And this is the circle, stitched scallop circle. I die cut these out already. I wanted to show you what they look like. But this is the small, there's 2 dies in here. Let me show you. And again, this is a magnet, guys. Look at it, I'll show you. See the magnet in there? So there's no tape or glue that's on your packaging. They come right off. But I used the small one and cut it out. And when you cut it out, this is pretty like this, but it actually creates an inverted scallop and then a regular scallop frame. So I think that I love frames, and so this is like the perfect set. The circles do the same thing in 2 different sizes. So if you were to die cut each of these dies out, you would have 4 pieces. So I went ahead and did this with white cardstock for my first project. Let me show you. Okay, this is what my love looks like when I layer it all together. Really pretty. That's going to be my sentiment. And then if I were to punch these out, the frames would be 2 pieces. But I wanted to keep them together because I like layers. I'm going to flip them on the reverse side. And then I'm going to add some pattern paper. The pattern paper that I'm using is from Pinkfresh Studio, and it's from the Happy Bloom 6x6 paper pack. Okay, let's go ahead and take our frame, and we're going to add adhesive behind here, keeping them together. And then I'm going to take the pink side down, so I have pink on the opposite end, and we'll adhere this. Kind of keeps everything stuck together. And I'm going to do the same thing with our smaller frame. We'll add our pattern paper behind here. Okay, lovely. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to add some foam tape behind here. And I'm going to add some adhesive behind the entire back panel. Lovely. And then we'll remove the release paper off of our foam tape. This is going to go in the center, just so a little bit of that pink's peeking out. And then we're going to go ahead and add florals here. And then that is my first card. We're going to add some bells and whistles. Let's glacier jewels. And I love the little pouch that they come in. I'm going to add a few to the center of our flowers here. I'm going to grab my glue. And then that is our first project, which I'm super excited about. So cute. Okay, now we're going to work on our next card. Okay, we're going to flip over our frames and we're going to add glue basically to the inside frame. And then we're going to add our pattern paper. Now I'm going to take a panel that is slightly smaller than my card base. We'll flip these around. So it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use my scoring board, and I'm going to add some, I want some diagonal lines on here. So at the 3 1/2 inch mark, I'm just going to take my panel and notch it up here, and then we're going to start by doing some score lines, and I'm just going to alternate. And I'm not really concerned about whether it's 2 lines or 3 lines apart. I just wanted some embossed detail on my background. And so this is a great way to do it. Just add some diagonal lines. Okay. So we have, you can flip it around. You can see there. Now next we are going to flip over our circles and we're going to add some foam squares behind here. Whatever's overhanging I'm going to trim off with my scissors. Okay, next we're going to stamp our sentiment. And then we can go ahead and flip over our floral, and we're going to do a little tucking. I'm just going to finish off my second project with those same crystal gems, and then that finishes off card number 2 for my project today. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. It's kind of a long video, but I hope you can join us for the blog hop, guys. Again, there's a giveaway, tons of inspiration, and I'll leave my blog post down below if you guys want to head on over there. If you want to start at the beginning of the hop too, I'll leave Pinkfresh Studio's blog too. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.